said it was going to happen. We weren't lying to you. Old Dominion tonight at the Dome with Meghan Patrick and Mitchell Tenpenny. By the way, we'll bring this up a lot, Meghan, but you guys are an item for those who don't know.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're just starting like weird rumors.
Well, I did an interview actually the other day, and the girl was like, yeah, so I heard a rumor that you might have a new love interest. I was like, well, we've been together for 2 years. We own a house together. But yeah, sure. It's not really a rumor. Not new, but.
That's funny. So Meghan Patrick in studio. This is pretty cool. And I'm going to try not to get emotional when I talk about this. But anytime I talk about my girls, and Laura knows this, I get a little bit emotional.
That's all right.
Meghan, I wanted to thank you right off the bat.
Okay.
Because A, for being you, for winning, for blazing a path. I have this 5-year-old daughter who you're going to meet tonight because I'm going to bring her to the concert, our own little Valentine's date. And man, she's feisty, but it is a tough world, and it's going to be a tough world when she comes up through the ranks. But somebody like you who's blazing their own path doesn't take no for an answer and is just kicking, excuse my language, kids in the car, but kicking ass along the way. That's going to make it easier for her one day, you know? And I know you're not necessarily looking for accolades, but I just wanted to thank you because you're doing so much on that front, not just in music.
I thank you for saying that because, I mean, you know, it's funny, I'm realizing more and more as I do this. I mean, I got in this just to make music, to make fans and to put music out there, to tour and do my job. But I'm realizing that I really do have a platform and an impact on, and especially on young girls. Mm-hmm. You know, I can't tell you how many times, like more and more, I'm just doing my first headlining tour in Ontario right now. And there's always a ton of young girls there. Yeah. And, you know, and their parents saying, oh my gosh, my daughters look up to you so much. And thank you for being a strong, you know, woman for them to look up to. And like, you know, it's weird. It kind of makes me like nervous, like, oh my gosh, like, don't make me a role model. Yeah. Like, no. But to know that I'm able to inspire, you know, not just make music that people like, but inspire people like just as humans and like in their life. And, you know, when that whole video went viral, you know, back in the summer with that guy yelling out at me and
round of applause, by the way. Hey, Meghan Patrick, everybody, don't you think? That's how you handle it. Yes.
Yeah. There were some people that didn't like the way I handled that, and I just truly don't care because, you know, you have to handle it that way. Yep. You know, there were people who said, oh, well, you know, you should have just let it roll off your shoulders. It's part of your job. You should just deal with it. I said, it's not part of my job, and I will never ignore it. You know how people like that do things like that? Because nobody ever told them not to.
Exactly.
You know, that because they've been enabled their whole life, because nobody said, no, that's completely inappropriate and that's wrong and you need to stop. Yep. So, you know, when that happened, and I had so many parents reach out, both, you know, fathers, mothers, and say, you know, thank you for doing that. And yeah, I used some choice words. There was some colorful language for sure. But first of all, I'm an adult and it was an adult show. And, you know, most of the parents that it's, you know, they said I sat down and I showed the video to my daughters and I explained, obviously, you're not supposed to use that language, but the idea behind it and the strength behind it is what is important. And I mean, I think if you can't sit down and have that conversation with your kid and look past the fact that I used an F-bomb in a heated moment, then like that's on you.
Yeah. And you know? I'm sorry, if you ever been to a Toby Keith concert, you know what I'm saying? There's some colorful language all day long. Well, it's there can't be that.
Yeah. If you think that's the first time your kid heard that word, you are very sheltered, my friend.
Exactly. Well, Meghan, I wanted to say thank you. And I was a little bit selfish on my part, but you are making a difference.
That really means so much to me. It really does. So thank you.
Meghan Patrick, Mitchell Tenpenny, Old Dominion tonight, Valentine's Day at the Saddle Dome. Okay, so how's the tour so far?
It's been amazing. You know, it's been, I mean, first of all, Old Dominion, I mean, their live show is incredible. Yeah. Their whole crew, like everybody that is a part of their camp is amazing. They've been so good to us. I mean, I've definitely been taking notes, and I aspire to have, you know, a whole camp that runs the way they do theirs. And, you know, with Mitchell and I, it was kind of weird at first because it was like, you know, that's always been just my world. And for him, that's always been just his world. Sure. Like, we've never, like, shared that with a significant other before. And we're both very, very work-focused and very, like, when we're working, you know? And so at first it was kind of like, you know, we'd see each other in catering, and I'd be like, well, I got to go do this. And he's like, well, I got to go do this. Like, you good? Like, well, I'll see you later. Like, you know, it was just kind of a weird thing. Like, we're both trying to like feel each other out, and like everyone has their routines and stuff. But now, you know, I think we've like settled into a good like little routine where we get to see each other and do our thing. And I mean, for me, the coolest thing is just getting to watch him play every night and see the audience react to him, and I think vice versa for him too. And so it's just been a really cool experience.
In so many ways, you're his introduction to Canada, where you're from, and everything that we do up here and everything that we are. And happy anniversary. I think today's the day, right?
It is, yes.
Yeah. So big plans, doing things.
Yeah, we're gonna sneak out for a steak dinner after the show, I think. So
we were just saying off there, you don't go to Calgary for like, you know, I don't know.
We're not going for sushi.
You're coming here for
Calgary.
the steak.
Yeah, we came for the steak, absolutely.
So I'm going to ask him this question when he comes in, because about an hour's time, we're going to have him in studio. But do you ever go, you know, you are so American? Is that a thing?
Yes.
Yeah? So like,
I said that yesterday.
Yeah? Over what? Are you allowed to tell?
Oh, yeah. No, it was, so when we were getting ready to roll into Saskatoon, I was like, just so you know, it's going to be really cold. Like, really cold. And I like sent him a screenshot of the temperature. He's like, well, what is that in Fahrenheit? And I told him, he goes, no, that's not real. There's no way. That's not even real. Like, you can't even go outside when it's that cold. I was like, it's real. Like, I'm telling you. And then he was just like complaining about it. I was like, you are so Southern. You are just not built for this weather.
No.
Yeah.
He
said we both tease each other. He says when I get drunk, the more Canadian comes out.
Yeah. That's fun. Well, that makes sense, actually, if you think about it. Meghan Patrick with us, of course, Mitchell Tenpenny, Old Dominion tonight at the Saddle Dome. Would you kill him as you take a drink? Don't spit it out. This is expensive stuff. Would you kill him if he popped the question tonight on Valentine's Day, or maybe would you propose tonight?
I would not propose.
You would not propose?
No. And this is nothing against a woman who would want to do that.
Yeah.
It's not my thing. Like, we're kind of like traditional in that way.
Sure.
I wouldn't want to do that, and I don't think he'd want that either. Like, I want him to propose to me.
Mitchell, step up to the plate, man. What are you doing? Let's go.
I don't know. I've always had mixed feelings about the really like public proposals, but I mean, in a way, it's like it's our world. It's what we do, and like, I mean, I'd say yes. So.
Okay. Wait. Let's Mitchell. Let's do this thing. We should have had you, man. We could have done things, TMZ and everything.
Well, we're just like, we're not in any rush, you know.
Yeah.
Like, we're just enjoying what we have right now. We just bought a house, so that's like a big milestone. So like, you know, we know we're each other's person. So.
I'll ask you this question, and I wasn't going to, but I think I was on like Insta Stories the other day, and I think Kira Isabella was at your place, possibly. Am I making that stuff up right? So does what? You just have Garth Brooks and Trish over for dinner sometimes, watch a football game? Like, does everybody live in the same hood? How does that work?
Well, actually, and I don't know if Kira's actually dating someone in my band.
All right.
One of my guitar players. Yeah. So I don't know if I just like outed them to the world. Sorry if I did. No, but I mean, he's one of my best friends. We've been playing together for over 10 years. Gotcha. He's a great guy. Kira's great. They're really good together, so awesome. I'm happy for them. Yeah.
Meghan Patrick with us if you're just tuning in. Mitchell Tenpenny tonight opening for Old Dominion. So I've actually got some news here that Laura Fraser, our record label, who's probably nervous when I bring her up on the radio like this, but I'm going to tell her it in person as well. But right off the bat, you've won CMAs. You're nominated for Junos. So like, were you one of those ones growing up where you won all the awards in school doing your thing and everything just came to you that way because you're so driven for success? Or did you have to battle it out for this type of recognition in country music?
It did not just come to me.
No, it didn't.
For sure. Yeah. No, and I mean, I'm not saying that to, you know, like toot my own horn or whatever, but yeah, I mean, I just have a strong work ethic. I mean, being talented doesn't make you special. You know, I'm not special. Like, there's lots of girls that can sing that are pretty and can, you know, do whatever. That's not special. It's, you know, working hard and finding a way to separate yourself and be authentic and do something original. And I'm obsessed with that. I'm obsessed with what I do and how I can make it better, how I can put on the best show for my fans, how I can write songs that are going to change their lives the way music changed my life. So I feel confident saying I've worked pretty damn hard for everything I've gotten, and I like it that way.
That's probably some of the most humble reaction I've had. Is it easy to say humble because you've had to work so hard? Because it's the entertainment industry, right? You don't see humble necessarily all the time, but you are so humble in your approach.
I think, I think in country music, I think I'll say this. the most humble people I know in country music are the most successful.
Yeah.
The ones who are not are not.
Yeah.
You know, it's and that's part of what I really love about the country music community. You know, all of the most successful, most talented, you know, most awarded artists, you know, someone like Dallas Smith or, you know, Dean Brody, or even going further back like Terry Clark, you know. I mean, these are people I've been lucky enough to become friends with and, you know, be around and be inspired by. And they are all some of the kindest, most humble and down to earth people. And they all work their asses off.
Yeah.
You know, so I really look up to them as far as, you know, this Canadian country music scene goes.
Country music fans just won't have it any other way, hey? Like, it's just, it's really the core of what we do.
Country fans are real, man. They are, I think they are more in tune than any other genre with what's real and what's not.
Totally.
If you're full of it, then country fans know. If you're being authentic, they know.
Absolutely.
You know, I think that's why someone, you know, like Luke Combs is blown up in such a way, because he's just being himself.
Absolutely.
You know, he's not your like super ripped guy in the skinny jeans, like, you know, doing like Luke Bryan up there. Like, he's just like a bigger dude who's like awesome to hang out with, writes great songs, can sing. You know, he's very down to earth, and fans see that. Yep. He's just a like a guy you want to drink a beer with, you know?
A guy's guy, right? Absolutely.
Totally.
Meghan Patrick, Mitchell Tenpenny, and Old Dominion tonight at the Dome. Thank you so much for coming in.
Absolutely.
So this is the news I was going to break. We've officially added Things I Shouldn't Say.
Yay!
So it's in rotation. Laura doesn't even know that yet. But man, what a song. This is a banger. You got to be pumped for this song.
Thank you. I am. I'm very proud of this song. It's one of my favorite songs I've ever written. And just as like a side note, I'm also proud this is just a two-way write. It was just myself and another female. Her name's Nicolette Hayford. She's a fantastic songwriter. She writes a lot with Ashley McBride, and she's got a lot of other stuff coming up. But she's just she's like me. She's very blunt and very direct, says what she's thinking. And, you know, so this song was just us coming together and being like, because she made a joke one time about me being the queen of things I shouldn't say, right? And because I just, you know, I don't have a filter. And so we're like, well, how do we turn that into a song? And we started talking about ideas. And, you know, we talked about the fact that, you know, women, especially in country and on radio, like, it's like someone told them along the line that it wasn't okay to, like, talk about sex.
Getting down in the hallway, am I right?
Yeah, like, I mean, there's no other, I'm not gonna like try and church it up. It is what it is. Sure. Like, we're all adults here, you know. And it's not about like being promiscuous or, you know, anything like that. It's just about, you know, that new relationship when there's this passion and it's raw, and like, why is it not, it's okay for guys to talk about, why is it not okay for a girl to say, like, I want you. Yep. I want you to do all these things, you know? And I think that perspective has been missing from females at radio. And so I was like, maybe this is a risk. Maybe people are not going to like it, but I know my fans are going to like it. Yeah. And, you know, so hopefully all of radio is going to embrace it too, because I think it belongs on radio. I think it's filling a hole. So
yeah, absolutely. I think you're on the forefront of so much good stuff in the world, yes, but country music as a whole. So thank you on behalf of a country music fan for doing what you do, Meghan, because, man, you're doing things. It's awesome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Meghan Patrick in studio, everybody. That's pretty cool. Mitchell Tenpenny tonight, Old Dominion at the Dome, and Things I Shouldn't Say. Let's do this thing, shall we?
Let's do it.
Wild 95.3, Calgary's new country.